In this video, we will see the way of work or the evolution pipeline of our character. I mean, we are going to see how we will make our character and how we are going to make this one evolve step by step until the final work or the final resolution that we want to achieve. For this, I will use this image as a reference. This image is from an artist that gives us an idea of the workflow that we are going to use. Here we can see very clearly that the artist went through several stages before his project ended with an acceptable or high quality. From the beginning, the artist didn't give many details to the character but started with a very basic figure which we have here. We will name it number 1. Then he added a little more detail to generate certain shapes and give a contour to the character. We can see that here is already the jaw and the nose that we did not see here. We will name it number 2. Here we see some typical characteristics of the character to understand what their factions are. We see that the artist moves on to a third point where he begins to add more details to get a better idea of the character's trait. We can see that the design already has hair and some wrinkles. It has a smile and some other details. Finally, after having this design, he went on to refine or give a greater amount of details, something that we can see in the last image. Here we can see a much better character that have more details. This form of work seems to me to be the most optimal for beginners, since it gives us a better way of evolution of the character. We see that little by little our character is evolving and we are getting the character that we like. Let's use another example that we have here. Again, the process is repeated. We see that the artist again evolves his character starting from something very basic, like what we have here, to something much more complex, which we see at the end. This artist went through more stages than the previous one, but as you can see, he respected the same order. Another reason why I think this method is good for you is because many times our boss or supervisor, in case we are working in a production, or maybe our client, want to see certain changes or wants to add or remove something, and with that give more quality to the character. If at that moment we are at a very advanced stage, we are going to lose a lot of time and work. That tires us a lot as an artist, and that is something that we should avoid. That is why if the client sees something at an early stage or wants to make some change, it will be much easier for us to generate that change, and thus we will not lose much work. It will happen in many occasions that almost at the end of the work there will be changes. However, these changes can be very subtle or complicated. But this way, with this method, we will ensure that we do not lose much work and that we will have a constant evolution of our project. Obviously, this rule applies only for beginners. That is to say, it is not a golden rule, and you can later change your system or invent another way to do your projects. But for now, this is my recommendation, since it is the system that we will use in this course. I hope this will help you, and see you in the next video.